Such a handsome, forgiving bear that we used to call him the Brad Pitt of the bear world, and we miss him more than I can ever say. And just walking along the facility now, you know, we're passing gorgeous dens that have been kindly sponsored by so many people around the world, but sometimes it's the more practical things that we need help with, like this sludgy old road that we've had to stand for about 10 years and is really falling apart and causing our workers a lot of stress and dirt as they go about their daily work. So there's that, and there's even keeping bears like Benji happy and healthy for his 30-year lifespan. You know, on a practical level, bears like that need to be reassured that they are going to be cared for and cherished for the rest of their lives. And into our brown bear enclosure, where we've got 2 Tibetan brown bears there, and we've got the mighty Caesar on my right. We didn't anticipate actually having to build separate enclosures for brown bears. They are humongously expensive, but you know, you can see her all 280 kilograms of pure muscle, and she doesn't get on with other black bears, so we've had to find the funding somewhere to build her very own home. This is houses 2 and 3, where house 2 here right in front of us has 21 bears, and house 3 just behind it has 14. This is what we call a double bear house, and it's full of bears that actually have been with us for a long time, since about October 2000, including of course my very favourite, the glorious Jasper. And in this house we've got Banjo and Woodley and Clancy Jack and a whole array of bears just out there in the sunshine today, having a brilliant time. And this is just an incredible part of this enclosure, just to be able to be up here and look at the bears down into the enclosure below. Every 10 days there's a 20 different rotation of enrichment here, just to simply keep these bears busy and happy all day long, to keep their intelligent minds stimulated, encouraging them to forage, and that prevents dominant behaviour as well. You can see Ozzy over there having a fantastic time with one of his toys, which won't actually be there again tomorrow. So they come out of their dens, they cannot expect anything in each and every enclosure. Every day is novel and a mystery to each and every one. We are so incredibly lucky to have the support of individuals and groups all around the world, and as a point in fact, right behind me we have House 3 that has been so generously supported by our Australian support groups. So this house is a beautiful house that we call the River House, and it has perhaps our more geriatric bears that we more rudely call the old duffers, and we have Nick and Jürgen and Crystal enjoying their life in the great outdoors. And right next to the River House we have here our Bamboo House, and this particular enclosure here holds our gorgeous tatty old bear called Asia. She has chronic skin problems every year around this time, which is seasonal, but you know, she potters around, she enjoys her life outside in this enclosure, and we have a responsibility and a duty of care until the end of her days. This is our cemetery, where the bears that we have loved and lost have been laid to rest. Of course I'm standing in front of one of our most iconic bears' graves, our lovely Andrew, or Andaloo as our Chinese workers call him, because they couldn't pronounce the name Andrew properly, and in fact it was a name that stuck with us all, and he became our beloved Andaloo. And his inscription, I always think, is so moving. It says, "We're not weaker without you, but stronger because of you," and we are. And every single one of these bears has not died in vain, because all of them have died as a result of this horrendous bear farming practice. Over here we've got a grave belonging to our beautiful old Francie, who was in a crush cage for 25 years of her life before we finally rescued her. She was a bear that, again, we have a real affection for, because she just ruled us. She absolutely trained us, I think, rather more than we trained her. She adored packet dog food. She hated bananas and splat them out. And I always think of the lines of our poem when we lay these bears to rest in these east meets west graves, where they're shaped like a pyramid in the Chinese style, and they have western crosses. And the lines of the poem, very, very simply, are, "Please look upon the others and give them promise of hope soon, and tell them to be patient and proudly wear the moon. Our cage graveyard, where so many of these cages end up as coffins for thousands and thousands of victims across this country of the bear farming industry. Cages that have crushed these bears in both body and spirit before they end their lives. This is house 6, where so many of the resident bears here have limbs missing, like Harvey from being caught illegally in the wild in leg-hold traps. Prince, just behind, has smashed virtually every single one of his teeth out of his head from when he was a cub on the farms, literally being cage crazy. And others also missing limbs, some are missing eyes. This is a place where we promise to keep these animals for the rest of their natural lives. And when you consider these two guys, Prince and Harvey, are aged around 10 years of age, we've probably got another 20 years to factor in. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where your funding is so profoundly important to the team of Animals Asia. Caring for these bears, managing them, enabling them to trust the same species that caused them so much pain in their previous lives on the farms. And now our duty of care, our promise to them for the rest of their lives. Manners? We've come to the end of the tour, and I hope you've enjoyed our little place of peace and freedom here in Chengdu, and I hope too that you acknowledge how much your faith and your support and funding means to every single one of us. Thank you for being everything to the bears and the team of Animals Asia, and I hope we see you here one day very, very soon. So here right behind me, the core of the sanctuary here in beautiful Chengdu, our Animals Asia family, to tell you exactly what they think of moon bears.